So first, place your skirt front piece open and have the right side, the fashion side, the printed side, facing towards you, right? This is the front of my fabric. Then you'll take one of these side pieces, and you should be familiar with this by now. You place the right sides together so that the seam ends up on the inside. So this curved edge of this singular piece, this is the inside, this is the right side, and I'm going to match those curved edges right here, like that, because when you sew the right sides together, right? This is the right side, this is the right side, and the seam ends up on the inside. So go ahead and pin that side, then place the other piece over here, pin that side. Do not pin this middle edge of the two singular pieces, right? Because this is the back. This is where the zipper is going to go, so leave this one alone. Just do the side seams at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I pinned the sides of the skirt, right? And I didn't pin this part because this is where the zipper is going to go, right? But I just want to tell you that you always on a garment, make sure the top is matched as exactly as possible, and it's okay if the bottom doesn't, because we're going to end up doing, trimming it, making it exact, and then doing the blind hem on the bottom. But just as a general rule of thumb, we always just make sure the tops of garments are matched and perfect, and almost always I've never had a garment that ended up matching on the bottom, and it's fine because then you can just trim it, right? So after these side seams are sewn, then you can come back in with some scissors and trim it off so that the bottom is completely straight. I would recommend that you just get a ruler and draw a straight line going across, and then just trim it till they're all the pieces are ending at exactly the same place, only after you've sewn it. And just remember that these side seams are 1/2 inch. Okay, so as you can see, I've sewn the side seams together at a 1/2 inch on both sides. Again, not the middle back, because that is where the zipper is going to go. Okay, so after you sew the side seams together, the next step is to iron them open. And as I mentioned, the seams should be on the wrong side, or the inside of the fabric, not the right side. So the bottom part should be fairly easy to iron because it's straight. But when you get towards the top with the curve, then it might start to get a little bit tricky. And that's where I'm probably going to end up using the corner of the ironing board. Then I'm going to spritz it a little bit, because that's just going to help the cotton behave better. And notice I'm spreading my seams open with my fingers. I just want to guarantee that I'm not ironing flat some pinched fabric underneath. And yeah, the water is really helping. Okay, now I'm really getting to this curved part. I'm just gonna pull it up here. And of course, we have those various like little ironing pillows. You could place one of those little ironing pillows right underneath. and that would help. And then if you really just don't have anything, then you kind of just flatten one area while another kind of gets raised, if that makes sense. So I'm letting the back area raise while I iron this. Get some water on there. So you're gonna iron both your seams open and flat, and then I'll let you know what the next step is. Okay, so this is what it should basically look like now. This here's the top of the skirt, and that over there is the bottom. So, you know, all my darts on this side are facing inward. The darts on this side are facing inward. I chose center front. Yours might be going back, you know, to the right on this side and to the left on that side. It just needs to be consistent, and seams are ironed open and flat. And then, like I said, you're going to serge these flaps individually now that you've ironed them flat and open. Be very, very careful when you are inserting this, because you don't want to accidentally insert any part of the skirt itself, just the seam. Always be feeling underneath what's going on there. So it just basically goes like that the whole way down. This is generally what the serged edges look like, done open and flat. Except I missed this one because the machine wasn't cooperating. But that's what it'll look like in general.